Hi, I'm Jody Lazarski, and this is YouTube for Educators, Class 533 video vlog about how and why we love or hate YouTube. I believe that YouTube has a number of great resources and wonderful attributes to it. We'll get into the cons in a little bit, but first I'd like to talk about the pros of using YouTube. As a digital media teacher, I'm sure a lot of people experience the same pros that I do. First of all, it's a great resource. When I think of how I use YouTube, I often think about how I pull tutorials from it. Recently, I fixed my own Mac's hard drive by just watching a tutorial. I was extremely proud of myself. And whether I'm looking for rainbow loom for my daughter, a tutorial is out there for everything we need. As educators, it's great to just be able to see what's out there about any particular topic. So my first pro is that it's an amazing resource. The second reason I like YouTube is because it is a way to showcase student work. I use it. Recently, we started a digital media to YouTube channel. So we're at Westwood Film TV on YouTube, all one word. And when you search us, you're able to see all the evidence of learning that's taking place in my class. And for me, it's one great validation of the work I'm able to get the students to do. And it shows them how much other people can see their work too. So it generates motivation. It talks about, it's a gap between the classroom and the community. It really makes a connection that we are able to showcase what the students have learned, what the students have written, what the students are doing. And the parents just love being able to access a project that their child was referencing, learning about in their own home, and now they're able to actually see evidence of that. So I just love it as a tool for showcasing things. I also think that it's a great form of transmedia. So there's this transmedia that I keep hearing about, storytelling. And when I've done some research, basically it's defined by Jeff Gomez of Starlight Runners Transmedia Services as transmedia is storytelling, the process of conveying messages, themes, or storylines to a mass audience through artful, well-planned, multiple media platforms. It is a technique as well as a philosophy of communications and brand extensions that enriches and broadens the life cycle of creative content. Again, that was from Jeff Gomez's website for Starlight Runners Transmedia Services. So when I think about what transmedia is and how it can be on YouTube, I think of it as a platform. While we love watching television, we don't do it all that often anymore. So many people log into watch on HBO Go, Game of Thrones. Transmedia is really a marketing device where we are able to have content across platforms. So when I think about YouTube, I think it's one of those vital, essential platforms to the future of media and where we will ultimately be. It's always evolving, it's always updating, and it's always changing, and our styles of consumption are also changing as well. So when I think about how important YouTube is to that platform of where transmedia exists, I think it's vital, and without it, we're losing a whole demographic, a whole particular audience. My next pro of YouTube is that it's viewer driven. I love that the content of YouTube is determined by who is liking it, who is looking at it, not somebody behind, a marketing scheme. Well, they obviously put ads in and want to generate things, but it allows people to really express the freedom of speech on a platform that's better than your local cable access channel, because that's such a small audience. We have the rights, to have a PEG channel, public education government run channel. And with a PEG channel, I can go make a show and put it up there. And that's my right. And with YouTube, you have the same right, but with a larger audience. And if something's out there, something someone loves, well, you know what? It's going to be noticed. It's going to be clicked on. It's going to be liked. It's going to be shared. And obviously, we've seen tons of viral videos as a result of this. So why I love YouTube, obviously, it's because its own popularity and its own success is driven by democracy. Really, the ability for someone to use the freedom of speech, use the freedom of expression, and engage in a digital citizenship with the world around them, putting out maybe not such great videos all the time, but putting out content that is evaluated by the public, and not necessarily an executive who's going to accept a pitch and give you funds to go create a show that you're dreaming about. And so it really puts the the power in the people's hands. So I think it's pretty powerful stuff. Another pro, if you will, is that people are able to self-profit. They're able to create content and profit from it. This can generate revenue. This can generate an income. I've heard and read articles about 15-year-old kids making money from peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And because of the way they're delivering that media, although their content may not be, amazing peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they're able to make and generate, an income. And I think that adds to understanding, the quality of what we put out there. So my role as an educator is to really show the students there are production elements that go into creating something. Every shot someone has shown you is something someone preconceived. And now you have to stop and you have to analyze, how much of this am I actually consuming? How much of it is it mindless? How much of it is it active? And when they really stop, my students, when they really stop to think about it, I think they're blown away at how much they are able to consume without even realizing it. So I think self-profit is a motivation for everyone. I mean, students, adults, it gives me an incentive as well. And that is just a wonderful bonus, if you will, a positive to YouTube, is that we can profit from it. I mean, if you're very good at what you do and you're getting it out there, you're going to get subscribers and you're going to get maybe a network to notice you. I mean, that's very possible as well. Okay, so now for the cons, the not so fun part. Accessibility was mentioned in our module introduction, and I too will put it in my list of top complaints. As far as teachers go, we are always encouraged to integrate technology. We know how great it is for the learning for our students. We are asking ourselves to videotape and flip the classroom. We often are restricted because of our own classroom environment so much. And we learned about this with the walled gardens, and we talked about this, and things such as iBoss that require a .edu to get through the filter to allow students to click on videos I've built into my lessons is such a con. And I want to say this because I think as an educator, as a teacher, you should have control of your classroom. You should be able to manage your students, have high expectations, have very important, I would say punishments, or if infractions, they should know what they're faced with if they do infract your rules. I do believe that we have taken that power, so to speak, away from the teacher, limiting the teacher, and ultimately filtering the content that we're able to educate with. I mean, it's something that I think is really important to our democratic society, and I think that it is infringing on what children are able to know. Now, obviously, there's a lot to be concerned with as a parent, and I can understand that, but essentially the channel I'm creating with my students, I even have trouble getting through my filter at school. So Westwood Film TV hosts wonderful videos, wonderful YouTube videos showcasing student work, and my kids can't even click on them in the school district because I'm not a .edu setup. And unfortunately, I have to put every single video I want to get through the walled garden, so to speak, on the district playlist. And in order to do that, if you aren't me, Jody Lazarski, who has a little bit more privileges than other teachers because of my technology and my media curriculum, you have to actually email IT with an email address linked to that URL so that they could add it to the district's playlist. This is extremely laborsome if you really are using video content in your lesson planning. Additionally, I have to basically add every individual upload that's published to two playlists, my own and then the district one. So it's laborsome and time consuming, as you can imagine, yet I choose to do it because I think it's important to get it out there, even if there is an obstacle. It's such a validation of the students learning that it's well worth my time. What else? I think that in terms of the cons, YouTube is kind of a Pandora's box. Once it's opened, we realize that we don't know, what can go wrong. But if we monitor very closely and really maybe even restrict the number of rooms that are allotted the YouTube access, not every computer, maybe only certain computers, this is important because SchoolTube, which I often use, which is great, it's not as good of a platform. It's great for its purposes because it's teacher run, which means everyone has had to validate that they in fact are a teacher who publishes to it. And that's wonderful. There's also student accounts that you can make. And so the access is safer, and my IT and my district has no problem accessing SchoolTube. But the uploading process is longer. I don't see publishes as fast. YouTube is just a wonderful interface to work with, and I prefer it. And I feel like also, again, the information that's on SchoolTube is not what is on YouTube. So we're doing this filtering, censorship, if you will, and it limits us a little bit. So we have to take a video from YouTube and then put it over on SchoolTube. It's just a little bit more laborsome. I don't know if YouTube will ever find its fit in the public educational environments, but I think it's something that we certainly need to refine in order to publish all educational videos. I teach with videos all the time, and I've actually enjoyed being added to the manager of the district playlist so that I can see on the back end what some things actually looks like. The iBoss is laborsome, time consuming, and discouraging to most teachers who want to integrate that technology into their classroom curriculum. So although iBoss does its job, iBoss is a little more work than just planning a lesson and just sticking in a link and having your kids click on it. So I do feel like the public education setting, is going to require teachers for a while yet to just take those extra steps, those extra obstacles, and get on the playlists that are required of us. And that's all the pros and cons I think I can think of for this assignment. Access obviously is the biggest con, and really the only one I think I have. But hopefully, we can find an answer to that con, and I get to reflect on it later in this course. And that's about it. I can't wait to see what everyone's saying, and thank you so much for watching.